Hello everyone, hope you guys are in a good condition. Have you guys heard of King Charles III's coronation that just happened recently? It's everywhere headlines. British royal family always attract people's attention not just in the UK but outside of the UK. People have their eyes on them and want to know more about their royal life, even the scandals. But we're not gonna talk about that. We are going to talk about UK royal family in general and give you informations about the royal family in the UK to enhance your knowledge. Let's go! Okay, if we talk about royal family, what comes in your mind? For me, is a fancy dress like the gown and cool uniform even for the court. And then a huge castle full of expensive things, and of course one we cannot miss out is the royal ball. Then what is the definition of royal family? Royal family is a king, queen or other monarch and all the members of their family. The core of recent UK royal family after the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II in September 2022 consists of King Charles III and Queen Consort Camilla, William, Prince of Wales and Catherine, Princess of Wales, Anne, Princess Royal, Prince Edward, Duke of Edinburgh, and Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh. Amongst all the monarchs who reigned in British history, maybe this question comes to your mind: who was the longest to reign? The previous record was set by Queen Victoria, who reigned for about 63 years and 216 days. But Queen Elizabeth II, who passed away a few months ago, already broke the record in September 2015 by surpassing Queen Victoria as the longest reigning monarch in British history for 70 years and 214 days. Okay, these are other kings and queens reigned for 50 years or even more. The first one we have King Henry III, who reigned for 56 years. And then King George III, who reigned for 59 years and 96 days. And then we have King Edward III, who reigned for 50 years. Then Queen Victoria, who reigned for 63 years and 216 days. And the last one, King James VI, who reigned for 57 years and 246 days.
Okay, I will explain. Prince Charles is now King Charles III. Here's what to know about UK new monarch. After more than 70 years of Queen Elizabeth II's steady reign over the United Kingdom, Prince Charles ascended the throne upon her death and is now King Charles III. The firstborn son of the Queen and her late husband, Prince Philip, Charles was next in line for the throne from the time he was 3 years old, making him the longest serving and the most prepared heir to the throne in British history. That was the first decision of the new king's reign. He could have chosen from any of his four names, which is Charles, Philip, Arthur, George. He is not the only one who faced a change of title. Prince William and his wife Catherine are now titled Duke and Duchess of Cornwall and Cambridge, and the king has conferred on them the title of Prince and Princess of Wales. There is also a new title for Charles' wife Camilla, who became the Queen Consort. Consort is the term used for the spouse of the monarch, and Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle will retain their title as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Charles was officially proclaimed king on the Saturday following the Queen's death. This event took place at St. James Palace in London, in front of a ceremonial body known as the Accession Council. Elizabeth was the reigning monarch from February 1952, when she was 25, until her death at 96. Next, who is King Charles III of the United Kingdom? Born in November 14 in 1948, Charles Philip Arthur George Windsor is the eldest son of the Queen Elizabeth II and her late husband Prince Philip. Upon the death of the Queen on September 8, 2022, Charles, the Prince of Wales, became King of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So when will Charles be crowned? Legally, Charles became king from the moment of the Queen's death, meaning he is a head of state for the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and a dozen other countries. He is also the titular head of the Church of England, head of the military and the judiciary, and carries a host of other royal titles and duties. The name he chose as his reign name is his own first name, Charles, and it's followed by the Roman numeral 3 because he is the third King Charles in British history. In the days following the Queen's death, Charles was formally proclaimed as monarch in an accession ceremony and gave his first formal address as a king. Okay, next I will explain about the king's family tree. In 20 November 1947, Princess Elizabeth married with Prince Philip, and then she was blessed with 4 children, namely Charles, Anne, Andrew, and Edward. Prince Charles, now the king, was born in 1948, and Princess Anne in 1950, Andrew in 1960, and Edward in 1964. King Charles III became king after the death of the Queen Elizabeth II. He married Lady Diana Spencer in 1981, and they was blessed with 2 children, namely Prince William and Prince Harry. King Charles divorced with Lady Diana Spencer in 1996, and after divorcing from Lady Diana, King Charles married his ex-girlfriend Camilla Parker Bowles in 2005, and they don't have a kids. Princess Anne married with Captain Mark Phillip in 1973, and they was blessed with 2 children, namely Peter Phillips and Sarah Phillip. Next is Andrew. He is married with Sarah Ferguson in 1986, and they was blessed with 2 daughters, namely Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugene. So Edward married with Sophia Ray Jones in 1999. They was blessed with 2 children, namely Lady Louise Windsor and James Scott. Prince William is the elder son of the King Charles III, and Diana married with Kate Middleton in 2011, and they was blessed with 3 children, namely Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. The second son of the King Charles III, Prince Harry, married with Meghan Markle in 2018. They was blessed with 2 children, namely Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet.
British royal residences are palaces, castles, and houses occupied by members of the British royal family in the United Kingdom. There are 23 royal residences scattered across the UK, though there have been plenty more in the past. Some, like Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle, are owned by the Crown, or ownership by the British monarch is by virtue of his or her position as king or queen, while others, like Balmoral Castle and Sandringham House, are personally owned and have been passed down for generations. Some royal palaces, such as the Palace of Westminster, or now used as the House of Parliament, are no longer residences. Some remain in irregular use for royal occasions, such as Hillsborough Castle in Northern Ireland. The occupied royal residences are cared for and maintained by the property section of the royal households of the United Kingdom. The unoccupied royal palaces of England, along with Hillsborough castles, are the responsibility of historic royal palaces. For some main palaces, the first is Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace is the Queen's official and main royal London home, although the Queen regularly spends time at Windsor Castle and Balmoral in Scotland. The second one is Windsor Castle. Windsor Castle is an official residence of the Queen and the largest occupied castle in the world. The castle was the inspiration for the royal family surname. Each year, the Order of the Garter ceremony is held at Windsor Castle, and the Queen occasionally hosts as a dine and sleeps for politicians and public figures. Third one is the Palace of Holyrood House. Founded as a monastery in 1128, the Palace of Holyrood House in Edinburgh is the Queen's official residence in Scotland. It was also the home of many Scottish royals. The Queen holds receptions, state functions, and investitures within its wall, and each year during Holyrood Week, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip invite 8,000 Scottish guests to the garden party. Next is Balmoral Castle. Balmoral Castle is the private residence of the Queen. It has remained a favorite residence for the Queen and her family during the summer holiday period in August and September. The castle is located on the large Balmoral estate in Aberdeenshire, Scotland. Next is Sandringham House. The royal family's private country retreat in Norfolk. Every Christmas is spent at Sandringham House, which has been the private home of 4 generations of sovereigns since 1862. And last but not least is Hillsborough Castle. It is an official government residence in Northern Ireland. It is the official residence of the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland, and the official residence in Northern Ireland of the British monarch and other members of the British royal family when they visit the region, as well as a guest house for prominent international visitors.
Royal Coat of Arms. So this is the Royal Coat of Arms of the UK, or in Indonesian, maybe it seems like Garuda Pancasila. There are several elements in the Royal Coat of Arms of the UK, but the main element of the Royal Coat of Arms is the shield, which is divided into 4 parts. As you can see in the slide, the first part represents England, the second part represents Ireland, the third part represents Scotland, and the fourth part represents England. Next, There is the lion on the left side and the unicorn on the right side supporting the shield represent England and Scotland. Around the shield, there is a belt or strap with the motto Huni Suaki Malipes, or it means evil to him who evil thinks. Above the shield, there is the golden barret helmet with the crest. There is also mantling on the left and right side that attach to the helmet, and royal crown topped with a golden crowned lion. At the very bottom, there is the compartment that has the sovereign's motto Juhi Mon Juva, or it means God and my right. Next is King's rule. There are several rules of the king in the UK. The first one is as head of state. As a head of state, king usually goes on official state visit abroad. He also invites other world leaders to come to the UK. The second rule is as the head of armed forces. The king is the only person who can declare when the country is at war and when the war is over. Although he must take advice from the government first. The third rule is government duties. Every day, the red boxes are delivered to the king's desk full of the reports and documents from the government minister and Commonwealth officials. And it must be all read and signed by the king. The last role is as the representative of nation. It means the king must represent the nation at the times of great celebration or sorrow event.
Okay, the next material is about 12 fun facts about the king. First, King Charles becomes the Prince of Wales at age 9. And number 2, he has a bachelor's degree. Number 3, King Charles plays 3 instruments. And then number 4, he is skilled painter. Number 5, King Charles authored a children's book. Number 6, and he founded an organic food brand. Number 7, His Majesty speaks Welsh. Number 8, he was the first British royal to receive RAF wings. Number 9, there is a frog named after him. Number 10, King Charles almost dated Richard Nixon's daughter. Number 11, he once spent 47 minutes underwater. Number 12, King Charles has an interesting tree planting ritual. Okay, next is 10 fun facts about the UK royal family. Number 1, kings and queens have 2 birthdays. Having 2 birthdays seems impossible, surely you can only have 1 birthday as you're only born once. And then number 2, the royal family isn't allowed to sign autographs, such as King Charles are not supposed to sign autograph. Number 3, Queen Elizabeth was the longest reigning British monarch of all time. Queen Elizabeth reigning since 1952. King Charles doesn't squeeze his own toothpaste. According to reports from people who work in the palace, King Charles has his workers squeeze 1 inch of toothpaste into his toothbrush every morning. Number 5, Prince Diana wedding dress contained over 10,000 pearls. When Diana got married to Prince Charles at Paul Cathedral in 1981, she wore a wedding dress with over 10,000 pearls. Number 6, the king doesn't need a passport to travel abroad. The king is one of the only people in the world requires passport for international travel. Number 7, the royal family must stay out of politics. Members of the royal family aren't allowed to say support a particular political party. Number 8, the queen invented a breed of dog. And number 9, a man married to the queen doesn't instantly become king. Number 10, Queen Elizabeth used to wear bright colors so crowds could see her. Did you ever notice the queen wearing bright colors? This is so people will never miss her.